Hi folks, welcome to a special edition of Cooking with Mary Catherine, because this time it's Cooking with Michael. Although I'm not really cooking, I'm just making some yummy pickles. Now, being a good Jewish boy, I love me a dill pickle. So, what we got here folks is some pickling cucumbers, which we are growing this year, not in as great abundance, and they don't grow quite as big as the slicing cucumbers. They're a little paler, you can see. And if you feel them, they're actually not quite as bumpy. They're very smooth to the touch, whereas a slicing cucumber has like little sort of pointy, bumpy bits on it. So in order, this is going to be a refrigerator pickle. It's very, very simple. It takes about a week in the refrigerator. It's really best to use the wide mouth jar. These are kind of hard to find though. So you'll probably end up more likely with one of these regular sort of jars, but if you can get the wide mouth, these are much better. And because the cucumbers aren't that big, you don't really need a quart, but you can certainly use a quart jar. So the first thing you need to do is you're going to need to melt together some ingredients on the stove top. So we get 2 cups of water, just plain old water. Pour that in. And then we're going to add to that 2 cups, so it's basically 50-50. You can obviously make more of this if you need to, proportionally, if you're making more than just a couple jars. This is probably going to be more than just those 2 jars, but I'll be making some more after the video's over with the rest of whatever I make up here. So you get 2 of that, put it on a kind of a low heat, and then you're going to throw in 1/4 cup of sugar, Mary Catherine's favorite ingredient. Throw it right in there. And you're going to put in some salt. Now, you could use iodized salt. I like to use the kosher salt. So, since we are making dill pickles after all. So you get 2 of those in there. And you're just going to basically let this melt. All you're trying to do is basically melt the sugar and the salt. It's pretty simple. So, now while that's happening, you actually want to have probably 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, but this is the garlic that we grew and it's pretty big. So I'm just going to use the 1 clove and I'm going to cut it in 4 pieces for my 2 jars. So I got 4 little pieces. You can actually, make it a little smaller if you want to. It's up to you. But basically you're using about a clove per jar, or half a clove if you're not really crazy about garlic. So. Alright, and then the next thing you do, this is very simple and straightforward. You take your cucumber and slice it up. You see, these are much more seedy than the slicing cucumbers, but that's fine because we're making pickles. And you just want to cut them into spears. So I'm going for basically 8 spears, or 7 or 8 spears. Completely up to you. Oh, don't want to bust it in half. And then you just kind of throw them in the jar here. This. So, I got some more room, so I'll take another one. Chop this bad boy up. So you just want to fill the jar up basically with your spears. For some reason I keep wanting to say spears, but of course these are very different shape. So you get your thing all jammed in there. That's pretty good. Yep. All right. Now you're going to take peppercorns and mustard seed, and you're going to take one basically per jar, and again more or less depending on taste. So this is going to be a teaspoon, so I'm going to throw in a teaspoon of these peppercorns here, and I'm going to throw a teaspoon of these bad boys, mustard seeds, in there. I'll put a couple of these garlic pieces, just kind of jam them in there like that. Now, the most important ingredient, besides the pickles, is the dill. So again, dill's kind of a matter of taste. You can put the stems in. I mean, they take up room in the jar. Jar's already pretty crammed, so I'm just going to pick off some of the actual dill. And again, this is just a matter of taste. I'll just throw a couple sprigs in there. Just kind of jam it in. And, oh, it smells so good. So then, at that point in time, by now, hopefully, your sugar and salt mixture is all done, which it is. So we're just going to give it a little stir. Make sure everything's all dissolved. And this is the only tricky part, which is pouring it over the pickles, because it's really easy to like make a mess. So what we're going to do here, folks, is we're going to use this as a decanter, and I'm going to pour it in. Come on over here, Charlie. The sink. Pour over the sink. Basically, you just pour it in, cover up everything up, right to the tippy top. That's good. And then take your top, put it on, seal it up nice and tight. And put it in the fridge for a week. And then, you see these have been in the fridge for a week. They're a little darker. And boy, are they good. So there you go. Those are your refrigerator pickles. Hope you enjoy them.